Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of the Red Zone Recap Sports Podcast. Today, we're talking about the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend and all the matchups that occurred. There were plenty of upsets. Practically every single game was an upset in one way or another. And now let's just dive right into this. So, starting off on Saturday at around 4 p.m., the Cleveland Browns faced off against the Houston Texans, and the score was wild. Sam, please give us some of the highlights from this game.
Yeah, Joe Flacco has been really good in the last part of the season. He led the Browns to a playoffs as the number 2 seed, and the Texans were the number 7 seed, but the rookie versus the veteran, and the rookie came out up top. Joe Flacco had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions thrown, and both of those interceptions were returned for touchdowns, while CJ Stroud had 274 yards and 3 touchdowns, and this was definitely just a blowout game.
Yeah, with the final score of 45-14, the Houston Texans advanced to the divisional round to play against the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be a very exciting game coming up on this weekend for the divisional round, and sadly the Browns are eliminated out of the playoffs after just one game. And then next, on Saturday night, we had the Dolphins versus Chiefs. Sam, please give us the recap for this game.
And this was a very cold game in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, but I think that cold really gave Kansas City Chiefs the advantage over the Miami Dolphins, who are probably used to playing in the warm weather. But the Dolphins only managed to score 7, while the Kansas City Chiefs have managed to score 26. Patrick Mahomes had 262 yards and a touchdown thrown, while Tua Tagovailoa had 1 touchdown and 1 pick.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting game with a final score of 7-26, Kansas City on top, and they're going to face off in the divisional round against one of the games we're going to cover next. But just going right into the NFC games, we had the Packers play against the Cowboys on Sunday afternoon, and it's quite a close game. But Sam, please give us the highlights for this game.
Yeah, the only reason this game was close was because the Dallas Cowboys managed to score 16 points in the last quarter, and yet they still lost by 16 with the final score 48-32. It was really just a blowout from the very beginning for the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers just scored on the opening drive and didn't get much better for the Cowboys after that.
Yep, and it's kind of a huge upset as the Packers were, I believe, the number 7 seed in the NFC, and the Cowboys were the number 2 seed in the NFC. And Packers, huge upset over the Cowboys, eliminating them from going any further into the playoffs. And then on Sunday night, we had the Rams play versus the Lions, a very close game. We had the Rams just lose to the Lions with a final score of 23-24. A very sad game for Rams fans, as they were hoping Matthew Stafford would take their team to the divisional round. And then going up next to the Steelers versus Bills, Sam, please give us the recap on this game.
Mason Rudolph, the third-string quarterback, really just led the Steelers to a couple wins the final games of the regular season in the NFL, but Josh Allen just took advantage of the Steelers' defense. He had 3 passing touchdowns and 203 yards. Mason Rudolph had 229 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he did throw a pick, and the Steelers lost to the Bills by 14.
And next up here, we had the Buccaneers versus the Eagles on Monday night. A crazy game, but Sam, please give us the recap on this game.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield definitely cooked on this game. He had 337 yards and 3 touchdown passes, while Jalen Hurts only had 250 yards and 1 touchdown. The Eagles were missing star wide receiver A.J. Brown, and he was out for this game, and I think that definitely just hurt the Eagles in this big loss to the Buccaneers in the first round.
Yes, a very disappointing loss for Eagles and Eagles fans alike, as they are eliminated from the playoffs after just one game. They did not manage to score very many points, just 9 points in the second quarter, and not any more during the game. And sadly, the star center for the Eagles, Jason Kelsey, is retiring. We'll cover that a little in more just a minute, but that is the entire NFL wildcard weekend. And now we're going to take a look at what the next schedule is for the NFL. Now the schedule is going to be a Texans versus Ravens at Saturday at 4:30 p.m. and then the Packers versus 49ers at 8 p.m. And then on Sunday at 3 p.m. we have the Lions versus Buccaneers. And on this Sunday at 6:30 p.m., the NFL divisional round between the Chiefs and Bills on prime time. A very exciting game. That is going to be my most anticipated game. Sam, what is your most anticipated game?
Yeah, I can't wait for the Buccaneers versus Lions game. Both teams, I think, deserve it. I think they both played really good in the wildcard matchup and just can't wait to see how this game is going to come out. I think they both have very strong offenses, maybe not so strong defenses, so I think it's going to be a very high scoring game.
I agree. It's going to be a very exciting super divisional round, and I think that there are very good teams here. Not many bad teams, but it's going to be a very exciting second to last week of the playoffs and right before the Super Bowl. And now we're going to do some predictions for the games, starting right off. Texans versus Ravens, Sam. So, what are your predictions for this?
Yeah, I actually think that the way the Texans have been playing these last couple of games, they're going to upset the number one seed in the AFC and go to the AFC Conference Championship and beat the Ravens.
That would be very surprising, but CJ Stroud has not been playing bad at all, and he has had a fantastic rookie season, one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. So I do think that the Texans have a chance against the number one seed Ravens. And next up, Packers versus 49ers. I'm expecting the 49ers to win this one, but Sam, what are your predictions for this?
Yeah, the Packers did manage to come off a very good win against the Cowboys, but I think the 49ers will just be the better team here in this game and just beat the Packers.
Yeah, I agree with that, Sam. And next up, we have on Sunday at 3 p.m. Buccaneers versus Lions. What are your predictions for this game, Sam?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it's going to be a high scoring, both good offenses, maybe not so good defenses, but just a very exciting game to look forward to.
Yes, it's going to be probably a very high scoring game with two high octane offenses. And then lastly, Sunday in the evening, we have Chiefs versus Bills. What are your predictions for this, Sam?
Yeah, good classic matchup. I can't wait to see how the Bills quarterback Josh Allen plays and how Patrick Mahomes plays, and just really see who's gonna play better this in this game, and just because whoever wins it gets to go to the AFC Championship.
Yep, I agree. It's going to be a very close game. Like we usually see quite a bit of these Bills versus Chiefs divisional round matchups, and it's usually one of the best games of the year whenever these two really good teams play against each other. So I'm very excited. I hope the Bills come out on top, and they will face the Texans in the conference championship. And next up, we have a bit of sad news that came out just last night, and it's the fact that Jason Kelsey, the star center for the Philadelphia Eagles, is retiring after 13 years in the NFL. Sam, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, he was definitely one of the best centers in the NFL. He did win a Super Bowl with the Eagles back in 2018 with the win over the Patriots. He was one of the best, like I was saying, and just sad to see him go.
Yeah, he's for sure a future Hall of Famer. He's going to have his very nice spot in the Eagles Hall of Fame and the end of the NFL Hall of Fame. Hopefully, they will also retire his number as well. So, really, it was just a crazy game, crazy weekend, and a crazy game for the Eagles as well. It's very sad that they are out of the playoffs, but that gives some lesser known teams a bit of a bigger chance in the playoffs. So, I am very excited for the divisional round, Sam. Please give us your final thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think the divisional round matchups are going to be very good. A lot of games to look forward to. Just very exciting games with good defenses and good offenses. And I think that's going to be the big battle. Who has the better defense and who's going to win, defense or offense?
Yeah, for sure. Lots of very good defenses and lots of very good offenses in this final divisional round of 2023. And that is about it for today's episode. If you did enjoy, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We would cover all the new latest NFL news, and when the season's over, we're going to be talking about baseball, basketball, and all the other sports as well. So I hope you do have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.